This video takes a look at the start of the shutdown, the numbers that were given to us in the state of Ohio in regards to why we needed to shut down, and comparison of what we started off with and where we are currently as of April 25th, 2020. So the announcement was made on March 12th. March 23rd, stay-at-home order went into effect. What were the numbers that we were told on March 12th? Let's take a look.
We know now just the fact of community spread says that at least 1%, at the very least 1% of our population is carrying this virus in Ohio today. We have 11.7 million people, so the math is over 100,000. So that just gives you a sense of how this virus spreads. And for that, we are basically slowly shutting down most of our structures of society. We're asking people to stay at home in the hopes that they don't engage in this logarithmic spread of disease. As the governor said, that was such a key clue to this. It doubles every 6 days. And if you think about it, everyone who's not spreading it, me not spreading it to 2 to 3 other people, and those 2 to 3 other people going out, that is
now, and the rapid rise in cases and in the history of these cases of community spread, we know that estimates of 40 to 70% spread by the Harvard epidemiologists.
So on March 12th, we had 117,000 people that at least had the virus. Doubles every 6 days. Well, we had 11 days before the order went into effect on March 23rd. So not quite 2 doublings. So that would have been 1 doubling and then 83% of another doubling, which would have given us 428,222 people, 220 people infected on March 23rd. And this is the justification to close down. So on March 12th, which the link to the March 12th press conference is in the description if you want to watch it in full, we were told we had at least 1%, or 117,000 people who are infected with the virus on March 12th. And it doubles, then it goes for another doubling before the stay-at-home order, and then that's when the mitigation goes into effect. So let's just say that nobody gets infected after March 23rd. That gives us 428,220 people infected as of March 23rd. Well, with the 20% hospitalized, which I know that wasn't covered in this video, but that's the number that's been thrown out, in the ballpark of 85,000 people were out of that group would be hospitalized. And what we're doing, we're assuming, first of all, we're going off the assumption that when they said at least 1% on March 12th, that was it. So no more. We're not assuming any more. And then we're saying it doubles every 6 days. We went through a doubling, and then we went through almost another doubling again on the 23rd. But nobody else got infected after March 23rd. That gives us 428,220. So that's a bare minimum number. And so that would be about 85,000 people to be hospitalized and 12,846 that would die. And that's starting off with the bare minimum number, and that is with nobody being infected after March 23rd. Now let's take a look at where we are as of April 25th, 2020. Let's again quickly recap. March 12th, which the link is in the description. You can watch the whole press conference and you can see Dr. Atkin talk about at least 1% of the population at that time in the state of Ohio has the virus. That's 117,000. And she emphasizes at least. And she said it doubles every 6 days. Well, March 23rd, which is 11 days later, the stay-at-home order went into effect. So we had a doubling, and then we had 83% of another doubling, which would put us at 428,220 people infected as of March 23rd. So we're going to go with that at least number by Dr. Atkin. And then we're going to take it one step further and say nobody else gets infected after March 23rd. So all the infections stop with the stay-at-home order. And we're going to freeze it right there. We're going to do our analysis compared off those two scenarios: the at least number, and all the infections stopped spreading on March 23rd. So that would give us 428,220 people in Ohio that are infected. That would result with 85,644 people being hospitalized, going off of the number of 20% hospitalization, and 12,846 dead. So let's take a look at today, April 25th. Where are we compared to those bare minimum numbers? So as of April 25th, the Ohio dashboard has us at 14,983 people that have confirmed cases. So if we went off the 428,220 that we had on March 20th or March 23rd, according to Dr. Acton's numbers, that means that we have tested positive 3.4% of the bare minimum cases. Now, people will say, well, not everybody is being tested, so how can we know? Well, we've tested 111,000 people. There's 111,000 people that felt sick enough to be tested, and out of them, 14,983 had the virus. If we had 428,220 people who had the virus on March 23rd, we were told that about 20% would be sick enough to be hospitalized or go to the doctor. So we should have had 85,000 people test positive, which puts us at we've hit about 3.4% of the tested people that we thought we would find. We found 3.4% of the people that we were told were going to be sick on going off March 23rd numbers. 3.4%. Hospitalizations, 3,115. 3,115 people that have been hospitalized for the virus, which is about 3.6% of what we were expecting. 671 deaths is 5.2% of the 12,000 plus that we expected dead. So the number, and these are bare minimum numbers. So we're not even coming close to the bare minimum numbers that we thought we were going to have. And remember, this is assuming nobody else gets sick after March 23rd. Nobody else. Let's take a look at a couple other clips here. Dr. Acton says, now, she says one of these is an estimate and one of these are definite. One of them, she says, we know 40 to 70% of us are going to get this virus. So she says that as an absolute. So for Ohio purposes, that means with 11,700,000 residents, that means between 4.7 million and 8.2 million will get the virus. She says that in a definitive manner. That will happen. Mind you, we are right now at 14,983 people have been tested positive. Wow. And then she'll say, now she does say estimate, but she says based on this study, this estimate, 2.2 million people in America will die. And if we follow perfect mitigation efforts, then we will be looking at cutting that in half to 1.1 million people will die. 1.1 million. We have 50,000 dead roughly as of April 25th in America. Perfect mitigation, 1.1 million. These are the numbers that were thrown out there that scared us. And then Governor DeWine will come out and he says that it's 20 times more deadly than the flu. 20 times more deadly. Well, that can't be determined until a pandemic is like 2 years out and they look back at the numbers. But early on, they'll look at this being about the same, if not less deadly than the flu, according to the USC study that just came out that's being kept kind of quiet. Take a look at these clips. But this is what was said to scare us.
We know that estimates of 40 to 70% spread.
They may not show much signs of this at all, we're told, but they certainly have the ability to spread this. twice as contagious as the flu. And we all know that the flu is very, very contagious. It's also 20 times more deadly. Let me now ask Dr. Amy Acton to come.
But if we did nothing, the estimates were that 2.2 million Americans would die. And if we do these measures in the absolute way they're intended, again, we have no vaccine, there are no other things, these are our only tools, but if we do them, we can cut that hospital surge by these authors' example by 2/3. What we're doing every one of us can help contribute to that, and it will decrease our deaths by a half. And as I said, the surge, as you'll hear from the folks about our hospitals,